Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. This is our first adventure of the evening. I'm not used to running adventure one of the night, but you know what? I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is an adventure I've entitled Hide and Stop Seek. But before we dive into the adventure, I want to just take a brief moment to say hello to our four wonderful players and their characters this evening. We're going to start with first well, I say foremost. That's kind of rude to everyone else. First, Kokla Aeriskiba. Kokla, how are you doing? Kokla? Oh no.
What just happened?
The phone cut out.
Kokla, welcome!
What just happened?
Kokla, I think you tripped and fell. Are you okay?
It got really dark for a second.
You know, it happens to everyone. Sometimes the world just goes dark and the demons start coming in, but I'm glad that you seem to be all right now.
Yeah, I guess it's just because it's cold weather season.
Mm-hmm. It's cold weather season. Where are you from, Kokla? Are you from the Kobold village of Tuk Tuk out in the desert area?
I actually live in a smaller village, a little kind of not in the desert, but I've traveled to that village before with my brother, and he made an annoying song because he just loves fire, and he learned there's a spell called Firebolt.
Mm-hmm. You know,
and
when you find out that there's a spell called Firebolt for the first time, it's really a special experience, I found.
Yeah, but he made a song to the tune of a Christmas song about Firebolt.
Well, okay. I don't want to go into too much here, but is it like a happy, I'm shooting fire everywhere and it's exciting kind of song? Or is it like, oh, I'm burning everything, die, my enemies? Because I feel like it goes two ways, right? It's either just pure unbridled fire.
What is happening?
Well, there's the version that's based off of Jingle Bells, which is Firebolt, Firebolt, I know Firebolt.
Okay, this seems fun. Pure unbridled joy of fire. And what's the other version? Or is that the only?
I really can't stay. Hey, it's bad outside, but I know Firebolt.
Oh, I see. It's romantic. Whoa.
No, it's more like me and my brother arguing about the mob outside that wants to kill me.
Oh, okay. Well, Kokla, I'm glad you've managed to escape the mob. For at least for now, I'm sure.
It's a joke. I may have accidentally put sparkly things in everybody's stockings and shoes and beds, and it was everywhere.
Glitter.
I was grounded for months.
Well, you know what, Kokla? Such is what happens sometimes. Well, anyway, I'm glad you were able to sneak out and come adventuring with us this evening. It's always great to have you.
So it's great to be here.
Excellent. Our next hero this evening is Aewni Glasia. Aewni, how are you?
I'm sure Hiyori has told you the same thing. It's Glasia.
Glasia. Oh. You know when like you start saying something wrong and then you can never get it back. Like for me, the word harbinger. I always called it harbinger when I was younger because that just made sense. But it's harbinger and that's what it actually is. And it's so difficult for me to do that correctly now. And I think that's where I am with Glasia.
I feel like Harbinger should be a new
Harbinger.
classification. No, I'm saying like Harbinger should be a new classification of an enemy.
They're a pirate that brings hars. I understand.
Also, can I say I've never been taught Firebolt?
This is good. That means, well, actually, wait. Does that mean you've never felt the unbridled joy of Firebolt?
No.
It just means they will soon learn the unbridled joy of Firebolt.
That's an excellent point, Adavahr.
The closest I've gotten to the joy of Firebolt was my brother put a torch in my hand and said, "Burn it down."
That's called arson. That's different.
It's close. It's close.
So,
It is pretty close. But Aewni, I'm not. I cannot encourage arson. There we go. That's something I cannot do.
so
Aewni, how are you doing?
I'm doing just fine after sending my sister that beautiful ring I got from some random bag.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Bartholomew's bag. I'm not sure. In any case, after giving her that ring, something changed. I can do all sorts of different magic, and none of it looks evil.
Wow. You see, not evil magic is not necessarily less evil than evil magic, which is weird. But it definitely looks less evil, and perception means a lot.
Well, I mean, I could throw this cool orb that turns into different elemental things, and like, I don't know, I guess I just kind of mentally influence it to be whatever I want.
That's pretty dope.
So, you know, although I lost my light bolt, but that's okay.
You know, sometimes it's just a trade. Just a trade-off. Well, either way, Aewni, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're feeling... I know that you were never feeling super evil, but I'm glad that, like, maybe the evil seems to be retreating, and it's just all good now. We need more good characters in the Lands of DnD. And of course, welcome. Great to have you.
Thank you. I like being here, oddly enough.
Our next hero this evening is the one and the only Kevin Crabhands. Kevin, how you doing?
Hello, mate. How you going?
Yeah, I'm okay. Kevin, I got a question for you. It seemed, from everything I've seen so far, you seem like you're a pretty good guy.
Alright, don't know where this is going.
Well, no, because we just talked about how Aewni wasn't evil, and I just wanted to confirm that you also weren't evil.
I was raised on a pretty standard thing, you know, be honorable, do the right thing, even if it hurts. That, you know, you get it.
And did the Simic experimentation affect that at all?
Nah, that stuff was pretty par for the course on Ravnica. It was either get stabbed or wake up in a lab, and it was really a 50-50.
So really, you ended up on the good side of things.
Yeah. Well, as good as it can be, because I can't grow a beard anymore and I got blue skin, but I can breathe underwater, so, you know,
Yeah,
pros and
whatever.
cons.
Yeah, no, I understand that. How has your anti-shark combat training been going?
Oh, rather well. I have now hunted most of the whale sharks to extinction.
The whale sharks, but they're innocent.
Oh, wait, really?
No one told you. Yeah, no, they don't eat people. Whale sharks are very friendly.
But they're called whale sharks. The big one, they're shark. I have made a mistake. I've got to go.
Oh no, Kevin.
Kevin, how much is it for a course?
Ooh, Kevin, it sounds like some people are interested in your anti-shark training course. Are you offering that?
Sure, I can help out, but you need to be able to breathe water because I'm not kissing another dude. Again.
I can get a spell for that.
Works out, right? We'll come beat up, what's an evil shark?
Most other sharks that aren't whale sharks.
Hammerheads are
whites.
completely and utterly evil. Hammerheads are worse, because they're the
Okay.
goats of the sea.
I will use the hammerheads against each other.
Oh my goodness.
Ingenious.
Excellent. Well, Kevin, is there anything else you wanted to share, or is that about it for now?
I've been feeling a little weird lately.
Oh.
Not too sure what's going on there, but my shoulders are itching. I'll update you if anything happens.
I'm sure it'll go away. I mean, that kind of stuff can happen. Bartholomew's magic is kind of like radioactivity, so you don't want to be around it too much. Probably should have
What's
warned you
that?
earlier.
It's something
Anyway,
you get cancer from.
No, let's ignore this.
What's
Anyway,
cancer?
Welcome back. It's lovely to have you, of course. And
Cancer's a
Good
crap.
to see you too, mate.
I hope you have a good adventure. And we have another brand new character. Oh, actually, the only brand new character in this group. Joining us this evening, Adavahr. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good.
Adavahr, how did you find yourself in Bartholomew's employ? Did you just kind of stumble in and sign up, or?
Well, back where I come from, they call me the First Sword, and I kind of want to prove that I could do it with a great axe. I don't need that sword. So I decided to come here and, try my luck.
So they call you the First Sword.
Indeed they do.
Why do they call you the First Sword?
There's many reasons, and I've never been able to pin down the exact source.
Interesting. Is it like a familial thing? Like, were you born the First Sword? Or
I was definitely born a knight.
Okay.
I practically had a sword in my hand as I was born, but maybe that's it. That's actually the leading story, but there's many others.
Wait, you were born with a sword?
It was close at hand.
So it was like...
Must have been uncomfortable for the mother.
Out of the womb, grab sword, you're good.
Ready to go.
Excellent. Well, that's a very exciting backstory, Adam. So you're here to prove yourself primarily. Is there anything like in particular? I don't know where you come from, but do your people have any rituals like, or traditions or histories like, I must slay a dragon or something like that? Or is it more of a just, you must accumulate great feats?
There are many bouts of honor. One of the most honorable things you can do is die for the safety of others.
Oh no! Oh goodness!
So hopefully that's not where you want to go. But if that needs to happen,
Gotcha. Well,
You wouldn't have heard of the Boros Legion, would you?
I actually have. Close friends with them.
Oh no.
Well, Adavahr, I'm glad we have such an honorable person joining us. It seems like a lot of the heroes of the Lands of DnDTime, maybe it's not that they lack honor. It's more of just that they don't think about honor.
Interesting. Maybe I can instill that within them.
Oh, please. For the love of all that is holy do. Well, Adavahr, speaking of honor, I think this will be a very good adventure to help test your honor as we dive into the first adventure this evening.
Awesome.
So, as our adventure begins, the four of you have been sent by Bartholomew to a land in the kind of far southwest of the greater lands of DnDTime. This is a fantastical realm. Whether or not you were born here or simply found your way into Lands of DnDTime is up to yourselves. However, at this point, you're heading to a place called the Delkin Woad. It is a forest in the Small Kingdoms, which is an amalgamation of small kingdoms, for lack of a better term. Kingdoms, principalities, duchies, what have you. And in the Delkin Woad, you're supposed to meet with a conservationist by the name of Gnorbert Gnolan. He's a gnome of some kind, he's hired you all for some sort of mission. And so, as the lot of you have been teleported most of the way by Bartholomew, it's very far away from the shop, you find yourselves walking through beautiful forests. There are trees, there's not really a cloud in the sky, and yeah, you see lots of little tiny, roll 20's being funky for me right now. Lots of little creatures running to and fro. It is a very peaceful place. What did a lot of you kind of do as you're waiting for this guy to show up?
I'm gonna pull out a scroll from my scroll case, and I'm gonna start, what's the word? I'm gonna start drawing just the landscape that I see here, as I always do. You know, it's kind of my shut-in thing to do. I just draw. I draw. Yeah.
Excellent. So you take out your scroll case, you take out a scroll, you unfurl it, and do you have like a thing that you put it up against, or do you just hold it and kind of try and scrawl on it?
I'm relatively weak, so I'm not gonna rip this paper, actually. I'm just gonna write on it.
A clipboard or something kind of deal?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah,
I have a clipboard.
Sure, yeah, that's all good. All right, so you set out this little clipboard, and everyone else sees Aewni kind of like trying to sketch the forest around them. There are lots of big kind of oak trees with big poofy leaves and things like that. What about the rest of you as you wait to be met by the snow?
Kevin looks towards the nerd doing his nerd drawings and then focuses back on trying to punch down a tree.
Kevin, you're just up at one of the trees just punching?
Yep, don't even feel it.
Okay. Little bits of wood kind of splintering off as you punch it.
It's a lot harder than a shark. Doesn't bite back though.
All right. Kokla and Adavahr, are you two doing anything, or are you just kind of watching with amusement as one of your teammates tries to punch down a tree?
Less interested with that, more interested in the art. I'm gonna watch him do that painting while I sharpen my great axe.
Excellent.
Oh yes, painting on. Never mind.
It's right. Not used to art.
Gotcha. Well, Aewni, you're pretty large. Because you're a silver dragonborn. You're a pretty imposing figure, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh no, she's really short. She's like 5'4".
Oh, okay. So you're pretty small, actually.
She's the little sister of Fiore and Aewni.
Excellent. So as you're kind of doing that, and Adavahr, you kind of walk over, and Kokla, what are you doing?
Well, I'm watching this, and I'm trying to make a haiku. I've got the first line, but the second one changed as soon as he started punching the tree, and now I can't figure it out. It was clear blue, shiny sky, and then... Ah! So now I'm angrily playing my viol.
Flesh upon wood.
Just imagine like angry da 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 da.
And as you kind of angrily play at your viol, the birds all fly away. You no longer hear birds chirping peacefully. But it's otherwise still a very peaceful forest. After a few moments, though. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So Kokla became a woodpecker?
Sounds like a woodpecker, now that I think about it. But
just headbutting the tree.
That's getting drawn in the scroll.
As this is all just kind of going on, and Adavahr, you're admiring the art, and Aewni, you're painting. I'm not painting. You're sketching, right? This is calligraphy, right? Or
yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. This is sketching.
It kind of like the camera zooms in on the sketch, and it's really weird because it shows like a man headbutting a tree and the tree falling down. And then if this were a TV show, the camera would like pan slightly up over it, and it just shows Kevin like, just slamming their head into this tree. And then the tree breaks and starts to fall. And you've defeated one tree.
Yes!
A voice calls out from the direction of the tree, "Oh, wow! Wow, that was a close one." And
oh no, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. And you see a small figure. They stand maybe 3 feet tall. They've got very, very thin features, and they have kind of a little black hair kind of deal going on, a little tiny mustache. But a little gnome hops around. They're wearing khaki kind of shorts, and what do you call the explorer shirt? I don't know.
Safari shirt?
Safari shirt, thank you. So they come around like, hello. Hello, my name is Gnorbert Gnolan. You all must be the adventurers I'm looking for, given how much noise you're making.
Yes, sorry. And Kokla rushes over and then looks up. Wow, you're taller than me.
Kevin will look towards Kokla for a second, like, why do we keep getting hired by these short stacks?
Because I have lots of... Actually, I had very little money. But I put all of it in for you all. Because I'm pretty desperate at this point.
Alright, mate, what's up? What do you need?
Are you all familiar with the Owlbear?
Absolutely not, no.
No, but it sounds interesting. Can I write a song on it?
Is that an owl with the face of a bear?
kind of looks desperately toward you, Adavahr and Aewni, and you see on his face like, please know what an owlbear is what his face says.
Aewni will draw a quick sketch of a very accurate representation of an owlbear, which is basically a bear with an owl head.
Okay.
And some other things.
Definitely heard of it.
Oh, thank goodness. All right, so I don't know if you're all familiar, and this might be weird to some of you, but there is a land near here called the Deserts of Alabama. And basically, there are a breed of owlbears from that desert, and there really just aren't a lot of them, because owlbears are not meant to live in deserts for the most part. And I've started breeding them here in the forest, and it's gone pretty well, except we've been having an issue with I would say poachers. Maybe some people would call them other adventurers, but people have been hunting them, and really, I just need you to help. If they come through and they see that there aren't any owlbears left, they'll probably just leave, and I think that might be enough, because they've come through a couple times in the last few weeks, and they haven't found any of them. So
got it. Kill all the owlbears. Don't worry, I got this.
No. The exact opposite.
No.
I need you to somehow keep the owlbears safe. There's a little enclave right over here. There's a small pool, like a little pond, and they've been doing pretty well over there, but they are really not well camouflaged for this forest. So,
how
many are there?
There are 3. It's a breeding pair and a cub.
I'll do it if I get one of the cubs.
That is not how me paying you for a service works.
I'll give the money back.
Okay, look, you can come back in the future when.
Do they fight well?
No, actually, the Alabamian Owlbears are notoriously, what do you call it, docile. Yeah, they don't.
Nothing a little science won't fix. Let's go help them.
Yes. So. Come with me, let me show you. And he kind of leads you a ways through the forest, over the broken down tree that Kevin's broken, and into a little clearing. And you can see there's a little bit of a pond, and there's a river kind of leading out from it, a little bit of water. It's nothing like big in this small forest, but you can see on the far side by some rocks, there's like a tiny little cave, and you see these owlbears lumbering around. For those who are unfamiliar with what an owlbear is, basically they are a bear, and they have feathers and like an owl-like head, just like he already described earlier. The coloration of
my sister isn't here.
I'm sorry, Aewni described earlier. These owlbears are funky though, because rather than like the normal like purples and browns that you find in owlbears, these ones have like streaks of like bright kind of yellowish sand color in their fur and feathers, more adapted to like a desert environment. And yet here they are just in this forest, and they're just kind of lumbering around. You see there's a little baby one that can't be more than like 1.5 feet long, splashing around in the water. They look very cute if you're into, if you think conventionally cute things are cute.
Oh, look at the size of these beauties. Right, where are the poachers?
Aww, I want to put my cloak on one.
I want to punch one.
You want to just walk right up?
No, don't punch them!
Please don't punch them!
Punch me, not them!
Don't punch
Why would I punch you? You're tiny.
Yeah, well, the two.
And they're docile!
The 2 big owlbears are about the size of cows. They're fairly large, but small for like they're not like a grizzly bear size. He says, yes, so they've been here for quite a while now. They're the last successful breeding pair here in the forest, so we just need to make sure nothing happens to them. Do you think you can do that?
How many hunters are after them?
Well, there's a group that comes through every so often. I've tried to keep on them, but I have a very hard time keeping track. When sometimes I have to sleep. I don't know, 4 or 5, I think.
All right.
Okay, so are you?
I have a plan.
Wait, are you asking us to maim them or simply keep them away?
I would never ask you to hurt anyone. The owlbears need to survive. They're an endangered species.
I have
where they're from.
a plan.
Excellent. I haven't slept in like 30 hours, so if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go and rest. I've been waiting for you all to get here for a very long time. Is there anything else I can answer for you quickly?
How many poachers?
But he just
You just said like 5.
4 or 5.
Sorry, I was distracted by the size of these bears. They'd make excellent fighters once they got over the passiveness.
And
Where do you find normal?
They do have big claws.
Yes.
All right, well, good luck, and just try to keep them safe. And at this point, the birds have returned and they're chirping and everything. And Gnorbert tells you that he will be back in a few hours once he's gotten some rest.
Is there like a stream nearby or anything for them to drink out of?
Yeah, they're right. Their cave is just in a big old pile of rocks, like a big rock formation, by a pond.
Right, so cool.
I have a plan.
Kevin's gonna go submerge himself in the pond.
All right.
What's your plan?
The pond is.
My plan is that, well, 1, we should make sure they don't come near here, and 2, they're poachers and hunters. Let's kill them.
I don't know.
They're evil. They're evil. Let's kill evil.
On the way to the pond, Kevin will like ruffle Kokla's hair, like, I like you, short stack.
Hey,
I don't have hair.
Okay, well, face skin.
Adavahr, to be fair, she has a point. They are killing these creatures, and the best way to keep them away is to kill them back, you know?
I hear you, but we don't have both sides of the story.
The other...
They're docile.
Kevin, can you roll me 2d10s?
Sure. Let me just straight D10s.
Yeah, just 2d10s. All right, the pond is 14 feet deep at its deep.
Sweet.
Again,
He's just gonna submerge himself. He's 6 foot of that, so
Yeah, there are some fish in here.
he'll be floating. He's not gonna bother with the fish. He's just gonna sit there and wait for commotion on the top.
Okay, so you guys are all having this conversation. We don't have to kill them. And then Kevin just walks into the water and disappears. He's gone.
Okay, Adavahr, I'll raise you this one, all right? We don't kill them, we just violently knock them out and tie them up.
See, I'm okay with that one.
How about we also make sure that before any fighting happens, maybe the owlbears, are in their cave?
What's your passive perception, Kevin?
Let me check. Okay, Kevin Crabhands. 12.
12. Kevin, you see that there's a lot of splashing out in the distance. What are the rest of your passive perceptions also? Sorry.
13.
My passive perception is, what is it, 16?
Let me check for you. It is 16, yes.
Hold on, you have a passive perception of 16?
Very perceptive.
Mate,
Yes!
she's got a wisdom score of, if this thing will let me scroll, which it is not. 1 second, let me just remake this.
My expertise is I have expertise in perception.
I was gonna say, what the hell? You've only got a +2 to wisdom.
By the way,
It's good.
my passive perception is 11. I'm just bewildered by this 16 passive perception. What?
Well, as you're all just kind of standing there, you all hear, and of course, Kevin, you see it from a different perspective, the baby owlbear splashing frantically in the water, more so than it was before it was just playing, and it kind of, if you had to guess, looked like it was drowning.
Coco's gonna be like, no, gotta save it.
Are splashing around in the water like.
Okay, Kevin's just gonna kind of swim on over because he's got the same swimming speed as he does walking speed, and he's just gonna kind of reach a hand up towards the baby owlbear's butt, and just kind of heft him above the water and gently throw him to the shore. Just a hand sticking out of the water.
The two parent owlbears, one of which was kind of like freaking out, and the other one seems to be asleep in its den, immediately calm down as baby owlbear like plops onto the shore, and it just kind of gets up and kind of like pigeon coos and begins to walk around.
All right, and the swamp monster will go back to his den in the lake.
All right. So basically, you guys are still debating. What's your plan here?
It sounds like mostly dead.
We're gonna take them out.
We're not. We're gonna knock them out.
One way or another, we're gonna take them out. Whether, okay, how about this? We kill them as a last resort. If not, will that pacify you?
Can we just scout them first and see if everything he told us was true?
I suppose we can do that.
All right. So what do you just want to because some time is going to pass here. It's not like they immediately instantly show up. Do you want to
I think that someone should keep an eye on the owlbears and, who's loud enough to, get the others' attention.
Kevin is also loud.
And then maybe, do it, split up and scout. And then come back.
Okay, so you guys want to kind of split up and scout a little bit. Kevin, you want to stealth, right?
That's Kokla's.
Stealth underwater, so basically just staying still underwater.
I mean, I need you to roll me a stealth check, but this isn't to they won't know what you are no matter what, unless they have X-ray vision. It's just so that they notice a disturbance of some kind in the water.
Alright, gotcha. So I got 12.
Okay, so you're gonna stealth, you're gonna hide out. The rest of you want to branch out and try and find these guys.
Well,
are you trying to be sneaky?
What Kokla wants to do first is to maybe see if there's a way to make sure, is the area that the owlbear's in open, or there's a rounded cove or something?
It's a clearing of some kind. It's there's maybe 15 feet of clearing between the forest and the pond, and the clearing's all around the pond.
Okay. Because Kokla wants to see if the first thing Kokla wants to do is that I want to see if we can make sure that if fighting breaks out in the clearing,
sure.
the owlbears are not going to be in danger. Maybe hide them away in their den or something.
Well, I can tell you this much about the owlbears, right? They're wild animals, even though they are docile. You can't just herd them into there very easily.
Well, yeah, but is there things that would stop projectiles?
They look pretty chunky. You'd have to beat at them for a while to kill them. They're not
okay,
super fragile, except for the baby one.
If the baby lets Kokla get close, she's gonna put the fallen cloak on it for now.
Excellent. You just drop your cloak on it, and it's weird because it just looks like a pile of leaves now. Except then you see the leaves just kind of moving a little bit, as it's kind of you hear just a as it is waddling around under this cloak of leaves.
Just a moving pot of leaves.
Rustling leaves. Yeah, exactly. It could, if you didn't know any better, it could be a shambling mound, which is scary. But it's definitely...
Kokla is smart!
Actually, Amy's gonna use her herbalism kits to see if she can find anything that might be used to make a what's the word? A leaf screen almost. Because
what are you trying to do?
If we can get enough leaves to make a leaf screen, we can kind of just cloak them right out in the open.
Yeah, the problem is their cave is right over by the water, so it'd be really hard to do that, I think.
It'd be hard to...
Yeah, at least in that way. I get what you're going for. I'm just not sure this is going to be the place to do that.
I had an extension to that plan, but that's like out of character. That's some heavy science stuff. I'd be like using the water to refract the leaves up into the cave. But I mean,
that's a little much.
Okay, yeah, dang. I'm sad. I wanted to use my herbalism kit.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to just kind of hide the entrance to their cave, you could maybe do that. Is that what you were going for?
Yes, I would love to do that.
Okay, go ahead and roll me that
That's what I wanna
herbalism
do.
kit. You're just looking for like vines and things that you can use to weave stuff
And
together.
it's not like they're not gonna know that the cave is there. They know their cave is there.
And if you want to keep them in it, you could try to put fish in there.
That's true. The only question is,
A hand sticks out from the pond with a fish grasped in it.
Well, I'm sorry, can you roll me an attack roll to catch some fish?
Sure.
There you go.
my only question is, what's the attribute for this? I just have to ask.
You missed the fish with your first attack.
Dang.
Can I attempt to spear one with my halberd?
Absolutely. You can also make an attack roll with the halberd. I think you can just make it normally. I don't think there's any disadvantage because the halberd's got reach, right?
Yeah.
I have a +5 to hit, so I rolled a 3 and a 7.
Well, the 12 will catch a fish.
Dang,
Sorry.
it doesn't look like that.
Greater-
Well, while they're doing that, Kokla's just gonna try and get higher ground.
Okay, so Kokla, you're climbing up in a tree. Kevin, you
Yeah,
have to catch
so
one
she can
fish,
see things.
which distracts one of the owlbears. Adavahr, you managed to spear a second fish, which is going to distract the second owlbear. And then
Literally
the
all
baby
of us
owlbear-
fail.
Well, no, at least it was overall success.
Has anyone been watching the moving pile of leaves?
It's just walking in circles.
I have.
Very confused. It's also cooing softly, as owlbears are wont to do in this universe. But you're able to just kind of like herd the baby owlbear into the cave. I say cage.
The cage!
They're all in the cave currently. You've managed to corral them in there with baits of fish, and just it's a baby. You just moved it in there. Unfortunately, the leaf screen not quite working out. I mean, it's there. It's like okay, there's leaves blocking the entrance to the cave, but it's just kind of obvious that someone put like a leaf door in front of it. It might slow them down around to like get it out of the way.
So here's a question: If I go back and pick up that tree, would that make their idea more viable?
Well, I mean,
In the
that
middle,
wouldn't
set it up
make-
like a little
that
pillar?
wouldn't hide the entrance to the cave.
It'd make it
but
worse.
It
All right.
would make it hard to get in for certain. Do you want to go get the tree?
Kokla's just gonna keep an eye out for trouble. Make it double.
Okay. So Adavahr, you're gonna go get the tree.
Sure, I'll go get the tree.
What is your strength score?
16.
Okay, you alone cannot carry the tree. It's too heavy.
Okay.
Do you want to ask some of your friends for help?
I don't know if they'll help me with this one, but sure. Hey,
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab the tree to block up the entrance. What do you guys think about that?
But what if they need something?
Then they can come out after we take care of the.
They
The
can come and
back-
ask us.
So Kevin
Okay.
opens the water and says that. Okay, Kevin, do you want to help get the tree?
Kevin's not leaving his pond. They can have fun with that.
Okay.
Kokla has no strength, so she's staying in a tweet.
Aewni, are you going to help now that the leaf shield seems to not be working? Or Adavahr, are you just on your own, just trying to pull the tree?
I'll give it a shot. That's what it's got to be.
All right. Well,
I think Kokla should help with her 6 strength.
hey, every little bit helps. There is a combined strength score, which if you are able to get it, you can lift the tree. It's a total score between all the people helping. All right, Adavahr, you're on your
Okay,
own.
new plan. Great axe. I'm gonna cut the tree to a smaller piece. That'll work better.
Okay. All right, so you start chopping at the tree, and as all of you are doing these things, Kevin, you're hiding. Aewni, where are you?
Aewni is just kind of looking over the leaf screen like,
It's like you really want it to work. I gotcha. Kokla, you're up in a tree, and
So that I have vision advantage.
Adavahr, you're chopping. And can you roll me a perception check? Blah, 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 blah. Oh my gosh, my brain! I just said it, Kokla. Which in that case, yeah. Kevin, can you roll that for us, please, if you don't mind?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought that you were talking to the other guy for a second.
I'm talking to Kokla, but
yes, perception check. There we go.
The perception here. Excellent. So you're looking around, and you're not really seeing anyone, and you're not noticing anything. And then something happens, although none of you notice it. Adavahr, someone walks up kind of near you. You hear some sounds in the forest behind you, and emerging, you see 4 figures. They appear, one of them looks like a kind of brown furred cat person, and they are kind of cradling a knife in their hand, kind of like
Please let them come near the pond.
You see something that looks very strange. It's kind of hard to describe it, but it almost it looks kind of like a catfish, but it's standing up on 2 legs, and it like weird like feet that poke out at the end of where its tail would be normally. It still has a tail that flops down behind it, that's more kind of spine-like, and it's wearing a bowl of water on its head, and it has what looks like a harpoon gun in its hands. Also, there is a very normal-looking human. He's got like a red bandana around his head, and he's got a saber at his side. And a second fairly normal-looking human. This one is wearing blue long robes that kind of come out through the forest behind you. And the robed human looks at you and says, "Well, who are you?"
I was gonna turn and say, I got the firewood, but sure. Just a person looking for some firewood. Do you want some?
You haven't happened to see any owlbears recently, have you?
What's an owlbear?
Don't worry about it. You'd know if you'd seen one.
Oh.
We're from the nearby town. We're helping them out.
The nearby town?
Yes, Fulbright. We're they're having an issue with some of the owlbears in the forest. We're here to take care of it. And you see the weird, like, catfish man kind of like cock his spear gun as if it's a shotgun.
What, are they something I should be looking out for? Are they doing something that, dangerous?
Nothing in particular. Hunting livestock and the like.
Interesting.
And the human with the saber goes, yeah. And they have real valuable pelts. And of course the other one just kind of like elbows him. Yes, they do happen to have valuable pelts, but we're here for good at Fulbright.
Oh, these people are subtle.
I haven't seen anything like this, and we're camping up that way, so I would maybe try in the other direction over there. We haven't been over there yet.
Can you roll me a stealth or a deception check?
Sure, why not? This is gonna go amazing. Here we go.
So as you're saying all that
is a crit.
Man, the cat with the knife is paying no attention to you. They're just looking at the knife like, knife, knife. They tap the knife back and forth. And abruptly they just kind of stop and like stab outward and nothing, like, knife. But that's all they're doing. The catfish creature is just kind of seems impatient, just kind of huffs to itself in this bowl of water on its head and begins trudging in that direction. And the mage, yes, appreciate the advice.
No problem.
So I'm sure we'll find them. I think there should be at least a few more. They're still disappearing, the livestock withdrawal. And they begin to trudge off, and the other human's like, yeah, boss.
I'm gonna keep chopping firewood as they walk away.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they're out of view, I'm gonna turn on my heels and go back.
Okay, yeah, so I imagine you sent them the opposite direction.
Yeah, oh yeah, indeed.
Yeah. So they trudge off, And actually, you can see as they like pass you, they have like a sledge that like the beefy non-caster human with the red bandana on his head. Yeah, he's pulling it behind them, and it looks like a big sledge. Like, you know, maybe it could house an owlbear or two if they were dead.
Gotcha.
So yeah, what would you like to do? As they head off.
Once they're out of view, I'm gonna turn on my heels and start dashing back to camp.
Well, you still have like you've cut the top part of the tree off. If you'd like. To,
I don't need the tree now.
Okay.
You know where they're gonna be now. We can.
So, Kokla, I'm wondering, you have a very high perception usually, but you rolled an 11, and so you didn't see them, nor do you hear Adavahr coming. I'm wondering, why are you distracted? What is Kokla doing, like, up in the branches of the trees that distracts them? Is it, like, the bright sunlight on their kobold eyes? Is it, like, did they find, like, a bird's nest, and they're like, ooh, birds? Or maybe they're...
Kokla thought she saw something shiny.
Ooh,
and so she's just like... Shiny.
So you're trying to get at this shiny thing up there. Maybe it's like a metal piece of like a kite that got lost and caught in the tree at some point. And yeah, Adavahr, as you rush back in, what do you say as you rush back into the clearing?
Do I see anybody? I know one of them's in the water.
Well, once Kokla gets shiny, she's gonna climb down and be like, shiny.
Yeah, you see the bubbles in the water where Kevin must be.
No bubbles. He can breathe underwater. He's all good.
There are still bubbles.
Okay.
It's like bubbling up from like the trapped under the mud and stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm gonna kind of motion everybody over as I see them.
Okay.
Well, Aewni's gonna come over. That's easy.
Okay.
Is this pond that Kevin's in? Is it attached to like a river, or is it isolated?
It's attached to a very small stream, but the stream is only like a foot deep. It's very shallow.
Gotcha.
That's half my height.
Well, that means it's hard for even you to drown in it. Adavahr, you gather everyone up.
All right. Well, I found him.
Oh.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Let's go deal with them then.
Well, to be completely honest, they found me, but I know where they are.
Nah, mate, lure him here.
No,
We got the advantage of surprise.
What'd you
No,
do?
we shouldn't lure them. Well, here the owlbears are here. We shouldn't let
They're not
lure
gonna
them
focus
here.
on the owlbears when we're trying to cave their skulls in, and we've got the home turf basis here.
I've already told them that the owlbears are not over here, so luring them here is going to be a little more difficult than that.
Could just say you found it
I
and that
mean,
you were wrong. That happens sometimes.
that's a lot, though. Or we could just go and find them and kill them away from the owlbears that we're trying to protect.
Wait. What if we take...
Send me in.
It's not gonna
Send
matter
me
if the
in.
owlbears are there or not, because they're not gonna shoot at the owlbears when we're trying to cave their faces in.
You are...
I have an idea.
You just want to stay in the water, don't you?
Yes.
I knew it.
Well, if you get
That was the plan.
If
The
you-
cat one was going to drown.
Okay, but I know a spell that could be kind of handy if you guys stayed out of the range of the spell. If I used Earth Tremor while they're near me, then they have disadvantage. Then the ground gets all difficult sometimes.
You used that last time.
Okay, well, I know where to find them. However, I am not a very good liar. They only listen to me because this great axe looks very sharp.
You're not even lying. Just say you know where the owlbears are to follow you.
I mean, that is true. It wouldn't be a lie.
Why don't we just burn the forest down?
All of your friends.
I feel the client would be against that.
Just lie!
No, tell the truth. Tell the truth. It's far more damaging.
know how to handle this. Sorry.
So Aewni, having arson still on their mind from the conversations earlier, offers to burn down the forest.
We're not burning down the forest. I think the client would have some problems. Plus,
A little
I would have
counterproductive.
problems.
Okay, can we just burn them?
Well, if you got fire, sure, but I've got the cat one.
I don't have fire, I have frost.
How do you plan to? But you know what? Doesn't matter. You go
I
grab.
I can.
And he just points towards. Yeah, I've forgotten the name.
Adavahr?
I'm assuming me.
Adavahr.
Damn it.
He just points towards Adavahr. You go grab them. They trust you. Oh, well, better than us.
I'm gonna sigh, turn on my heels, and walk back to the tree.
Yeah, bullying always works.
So
While Adavahr's going back, Kokla's gonna quickly go get her fallen cloak and position herself ready to strike.
Yeah, Kevin's going back into the water.
So Kevin ducks under the water.
Kokla is lying down on the ground
Now,
with her cloak.
Are you alone? Like, is it just you to take the cloak off the owlbear, or are you also with the baby owlbear in the water?
Oh no, not taking the baby with me, just the cloak.
Okay.
So you took the cloak, okay. Okay, so Aewni's gonna like sit next to Kokla and just kind of.
Kokla's like, no, I'm got ranged spells. You'll get caught in them. Shh.
You are a murderous little kobold.
All right, Aewni. Now, Aewni, you could probably hide behind your leaf screen. They'd see the leaf screen, but they wouldn't see you behind it if you want.
Oh, this is true.
Kokla's making sure she's far enough distance away from the owlbears, but like in the direct path where the hunters are gonna be led.
As
and
you
so
go back into the cave, it looks like the owlbears, very full of fish, have all fallen asleep.
Kevin's practicing
There's a
his
big
line
pile of owlbear.
that he's going to say before he grabs the cat.
Excellent. So as you all sneak in, get ready for action. Adavahr,
Yep.
you go to find them, and you end up finding them pretty easily. Not really that hard, because you hear the mage, "Ugh, you burned it again," complaining and berating one of them. And as you kind of get toward them, it looks like they set up a little camp. They they felled a tree, and they're using it as like a log. There's a small fire that they've started, and you see a frying pan with it's sizzling, and there's incredibly burnt bacon inside of it, just like blackened bacon. And the mage is ugh, and you see the person holding the frying pan is the saber wielding human with the red headband. You're like, oh, sorry, boss.
How dare they burn bacon?
And as you kind of enter in, you see the catfish creature like look to you and like notice you immediately, and make a sound, and the mage looks over. Oh, you again? What?
I'm gonna wave friendly as I walk in.
Would you like some bacon?
Kokla's stealth was so good that we lost her.
It looks burnt.
Unfortunately, yes.
Huh. Well, our scout actually found the owlbear nest, or we think so. Do you guys, do you want to do that, or are we killing it to get the reward instead?
Well, we have taken the bounty, so, boys, let's go. And you see the catfish like hop to their feet, and they seem pretty excited, and begin to plod forward. And you can see their like skin is like kind of drying out by the fire, and they like lift up their little bowl of water that they have on around their head, like this helmet of water, and some of the water splashes down. They kind of rub it onto their fish body. They're only about 2.5 feet tall.
Probably turn my head like a dog and look at them funny for a second. Like,
Yep. Take out their harpoon gun, and they seem like they're raring to go. Cat with knife.
Wait.
Knife?
This catfish is 2.5 feet tall with a full-size harpoon gun?
Yeah.
Oh my god, right, okay.
It's very big,
I admire-
very big gun.
I admire the balls on him.
2'2".
It's time to have a midget fight.
The mage looks to you, and he said, "Well, I suppose for your assistance we can give you a share of the bounty."
oh, I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah, no, of course. I appreciate it. You see, just a lot of kind of looks down toward his lackey. You see, just a lot of burnt bacon. All right, let's go. Can you roll me a deception check, however? And this one you're going to roll with advantage because you're not lying to them, but your motives are a little different than maybe they.
Fair. Okay. We'll go another deception with 0 modifier. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm sure you
Yeah,
do.
yeah, that's what I expected.
Yeah, so they still are following you, but they seem to be quite alert as they follow you through the forest. And you see, like, as you're like leading the way, the mage kind of falls back a little bit behind his red headbanded lackey, and he whispers something in the ear of the cat with the knife. When the cat's ears perk up and they look, you see for 1 minute they stop, like, knife, and they look over at the mage, and you kind of just notice this glancing backwards, and they kind of grin, a big cat-like grin.
Yep. How far are we away from the owlbear?
Look, just lead them past the lake, and you'll be fine.
It's not. The lake has a pretty obvious thing next to it that they're gonna see.
We'll lead them to one end.
I'm gonna lead them right back.
I'm gonna kind of lead them kind of to skirt it a little bit where they can't see the lake right away.
Okay, kind
They
of.
can't see my lake.
Turn into it so that we're not coming from the exact side where.
What is the range of earth tremor?
Wait a minute, just a second. So your goal, Adavahr, just so I understand, is so that when they enter into the clearing, they don't have a clear sight into the cave, right?
Exactly.
Gotcha. That's what I'm looking for. Looking for intent. That way I can
still
figure that out.
still near the lake, correct? That cat is mine.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can't not. It's only like a 15-foot distance from the clearing to the water anyway. And Earth Tremor
Once they get
has
close.
a 10-foot radius around yourself, Kokla.
Okay, so as long as she's not she's made sure she's not too close to the cave or the lake. But as soon as all of them are close, she's definitely using her earth tremor.
The moment one gets within 5 feet, that's mine.
Yeah, Adavahr, as you're leading them into the clearing, do you say anything like, "Oh, it's right up ahead," or something like that?
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah,
I don't.
You can just say whatever.
I don't know why you guys are seeming suspicious, but it's right over here.
The mage says, "All right, very well," and kind of follows you out into the clearing. At this point, what I'd like everyone that's hiding. So Kokla, Aewni.
Kokla's laying on the ground with the fallen cloak. So.
Yeah. Oh, so right, you just have a 13 on yourself right off the bat. So you don't have to roll because you have the fallen cloak. But Aewni and Kevin, I'd like both of you to roll stealth checks.
Alright, I am behind my leaf screen.
And
Hold on.
the lackey is not going to roll a perception check because he actually is oblivious, despite your terrible.
What?
Yes.
Can I hold action to dodge action as soon as something's happening here?
Well, not quite. You're going to be in initiative because your deception failed for
Yep.
one.
Yeah.
All
right.
Those are some great stealth rolls. Let's see how these guys do. Perception for the mage. He gets a 10, so he doesn't see this coming.
His name is Evil Mage. I'm sure his parents had a lot of inspiration for what he was going to become.
Cat with a knife? Oh my goodness. Critically
That
failed.
actually sounds about right, to be honest.
Yeah, really.
Can he
was
stray
gonna have
close to the...
Just a second. And
Yeah.
all right, he rolls a 13. So as the jig is up, they enter into the clearing. They all see the leaf screen immediately, and the catfish man is the only one to act in this surprise round. So you all act, and the catfish man acts as the catfish man.
He's gonna harpoon me, isn't he?
No, goes to harpoon the bundle of leaves on the ground. He notices the kobold through the trap. So, I would like all of you to roll for initiative first.
I got you. Kokla
Yeah.
and Kevin. Right. So Kokla's 15, Kevin's 6.
Excellent. Cap the knife. And, alright, they didn't roll particularly well. So, what is it? Bandit Lackey.
Bandit Lackey, Kokla. Bandit Lackey, Kokla, the Lady Glasia. Aewni, thank you.
Yeah.
Then I believe Evil Locath Hunter, Evil Mage, Adavahr, and Cat with a Knife rolled the same thing, and I am lost.
Excellent. So this is our initiative order. I'm going to put it in the chat just so we can all see it. And let us jump right into it. Bandit Lackey is surprised. He's, what, an ambush? He just doesn't see it coming. But Kokla, it's your move as you're on the ground and you can tell the jig is up as the catfish person goes, and like you hear the shuffling of their weapon.
Well, time to
the clapping of their weapon.
Well, time to bounce up and prepare to. Time to not be laying on the ground.
Okay, you spring upwards. You can see that the bandit lackey, the mage, and the cat with the knife are all surprised. Cat with the knife still isn't sure combat started. They're just looking at their knife still.
Okay. And I already know. I want Kokla to do Earth Tremor as soon as she can.
So you just
if they're in range.
Dash into the group of them and cast Earth Tremor?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Adavahr is in with the group of them, but I think Adavahr, you've kind of like moved to the back a little bit, knowing the jig is up.
Yep.
So,
And Kokla did warn Adavahr that she'd planned to use Earth Tremor.
So I think the Lokatha hunter, the catfish creature, is a little too far back for the Earth Tremor, but you can nail the other three with it pretty easily. And I see Greener has already rolled that. Thank you, Greener. As you rush up, and how do you tremor the earth? Do you like strike the violin once and there's a shake? Or
you know how like in scary plays the violins always go
Gotcha.
That.
Excellent. So Cat with Knife is going to roll a dexterity save and roll an 18. So I think they still take half damage from Earth Tremor.
Yes.
But they don't fall prone. Unfortunately, very low roll on the Earth Tremor, just 3. The Evil Mage needs to roll a dexterity saving throw. And they also roll an 18. Oh my goodness. So likewise, they don't fall prone. And the Lackey also needs to roll a dexterity save. Gets a 20. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. The 3 of them get struck by it, but do not succumb to its effects. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Kokla, as you run up and cast your Earth Tremor?
Get out the way, towards the lake.
Well, if you move at this point, you'd be provoking, oh no, because they're all surprised. So you just start running away.
Yep, towards the lake.
Yes, my child, lure them towards the lake.
So 15 feet of movement gets you right to the edge of the lake. All right. Aewni, what would you like to do? You're currently hidden behind your leaf screen by the cave.
So, hidden, I'd have advantage on casting a spell?
If it's an attack roll, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna cast my chromatic orb at this Lokatha.
Excellent. You're gonna shoot it at the catfish with the gun.
Yes.
With the spear gun, rather. Oh, I need to get his health as well. Okay. So you duck out from behind the leaf screen and conjure a chromatic orb that blasts out. And what element do you critically hit them with?
I'm gonna go. I'm stuck between 2, and I'm not sure which.
Lightning.
You know you've got me with the lightning, but I want to make him
You're gonna.
So I want to make him feel dry, so I'm gonna cast fire.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me the damage there as you blast him with your chromatic orb. A streaming orb of fire, oh my god, slams into this creature for 22 points of fire damage. And it screams out. And you see inside of its like glass, it's wearing like basically a glass fishbowl on its head with water in it. You see the water start to like boil, and the creature's like, is like freaking out. It seems not happy. It seems grievously injured, actually. Any other moves, Aewni?
I'm gonna get the fuck out of the cave immediately, and I'm going to run to that lake.
I mean, you're right at the lake once you get out of the cave.
Okay, I'm gonna come to the other side of the lake to give our good boy Kevin a little bit more targets.
Start skirting the lake.
If they have to come over. Yep.
All right, we move to the Locapa's turn. The catfish creature. The catfish creature is like grabbing at its face. The water inside its helmet's boiling, and it kind of twitches a little bit, and it looks grimacing, and it's got like nasty teeth as it looks at you, Aewni, and it's gonna take its spear gun and level it and fire at you. There's a kind of sound, and it rolls a 23 to hit.
Ooh.
All right,
Ow.
did that hit you? So it's the 4 points of damage, not the 11. The 11 was something else. So you take 4 points of piercing damage, and I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Bearded devil.
All right, you are poisoned, unfortunately, as the envenomed spear stabs you like in the shoulder, and you feel the poison begin to sink in. And then you see him quickly load another spear in and shoot a second time at you.
Oh, perfect.
Which he misses with that one.
That.
I imagine you double over because of the poison, like, oh, and it goes wide. Kevin, you see a splash in the water as the spear lands somewhere above you.
It begins.
The evil mage is currently surprised. Adavahr, what would you like to do as you betray these fools?
The one that got hit by the fire blast, can I get within 10 feet of him, but not
You're
next to
already
anybody
10
else?
feet from him.
Oh, then sweet.
Yeah.
He's going to take a glaive, hopefully.
Oh boy.
Shove him.
So you take out your
halberd,
blade and you go to
halberd,
swing
sorry.
down. Oh, sorry, halberd, yes.
All right, here's an attempt. 12.
12, unfortunately, is just gonna miss him.
All right,
He's
well,
a
that's
little
all
tougher
I'm
than
good
that
for. If I'm not in anybody's direct melee range, I'd like to back away.
Okay, you want to back into the forest a bit?
Towards the water, if I can, just in that direction.
You can skirt out around toward the cave, probably, which is right by the water.
Okay. I'd like to
All
give our scuba diver an opportunity in a
So
minute.
everyone's gathering by the water, like, come
I mean,
water.
this entire plan was because of the water, so let's make it happen.
All right, Cat with the knife is surprised, and Kevin, it's your turn. You're currently hidden under the water. Actually, Kevin, you were under the water. I think you're surprised. I think that spear hitting the water is like the first thing that told you, oh shit, combat started. That seem reasonable to you? Kevin? Did we lose you, buddy?
Oh, I've been muted this whole time. Right.
You're fully mute.
Right, no, yeah, that's reasonable to me. Just to be sure no one's actually right next to the water, yes,
No,
are they?
none of the enemies are near it.
Right, I'll hold my action anyway, even if I could.
Position.
Flipnote is having problems.
Come closer.
Oh boy. Excellent. So you're ready under the water. You've been ready for like half an hour. Like, I want to drag.
I'm gonna launch out of this water like a swamp beast or something.
And speaking of the swamp beast, it's top of the initiative. The lackey goes, "Don't worry, boss, I got him," and runs forward right to the edge of the water. Kevin, I imagine some like shark vision. You just see like the water like above you, the reflection of the light from the sun, and then you see a shadow of like a big dumb lackey run over above you. So you want to grapple and drag him into the water? Is that your held action, Kevin?
Basically, yes. What they'll see is a burst of water that's vaguely human-shaped come out and wrap its arms in a sleeper hold around this guy.
Can you roll me an athletics check? And I'm going to give you advantage because you are currently hidden under the water.
All right, cool.
Now,
12.
Now, I will say, this is one of the very few enemies that has a proficiency in athletics.
Oh, no, god damn it. Hey.
But it will no, because, yeah, you won. So, yeah, you beat his DC. So you rush out of one, you wrap your arms around his, like, I imagine one arm goes, like, back over the back of the shoulder, another arm goes under the other arm, and he goes, "Ugh!" And you pull him in.
Yeah, literally German suplex fall my way back into the water.
Yeah, exactly. So you fall under the water, he's like, "Ugh!" And you see bubbles going everywhere, he's surprised. He still has his turn, though. So he is going to swing his scimitar wildly at you underwater. So he goes swing, which critically fails. He's at a disadvantage because he doesn't have a swim speed. And he swings the second time on 18 to hit, though.
18 does hit.
9 slashing damage.
Right.
And that is unfortunately all he's got, as he is now underwater
Bastard.
with you freaking out. Kokla, your move.
All right. Time for vicious mockery.
Who are you gonna mock?
Depressed anvil, depressed anvil.
All right. Who's still on land?
The fishman and the evil mage and the cat with a knife.
Fishman is grievously wounded.
Fishman is very injured.
Let's mock the fishman.
All right, you're not mocking the fishman, or you are mocking the fishman?
Let's mock the fishman.
Gotcha. So as you mock the fishman is shockingly also proficient, this time in a wisdom saving throw, which unfortunately succeeds.
It's
God,
used to be
Darn.
mocked.
He's been mocked many a time in his short existence.
He's an ugly boy.
I called him a fish fillet and it didn't work.
He's just like, yep, I am. Except he says that in fish language, just blah, 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 blah. Alrighty. Aewni. Oh, I'm sorry, are you cool with just staying by the edge of the water, Kokla? Or do you want to try and skirt around the pond to get further away, like Aewni?
Yeah, sure, let's move away from the well, actually, no.
Okay.
Let's stay right here. This would be bait.
I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost at this stupid fish.
You guys really hate the fish man. I mean, the fish man's pretty scary. That will hit the fish man exactly. As you call forth your Ray of Frost, and you get him right in the face. And I think, unless you have a way you want it, I think what happens here is the Ray of Frost just blasts all over the helmet, and it kind of like it obscures vision for a moment. This blast of icy cold wind just covers the creature, and then as it disappears, there's frost all over the front of the fishbowl helmet, and then the fishman just falls over.
Well, I mean, when you superheat glass, it breaks. When you superheat cold glass, it breaks. When you super chill cold glass, it breaks.
I guess I freeze dried him.
And it looks like all the water inside is just frozen solid, so his head's just in an ice cube, and he's just on the ground, probably dead.
I have saved a meal for later, guys.
Oh jeez. All right. So there goes the Lokafa. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Aewni?
Nope, not really.
Alrighty. The evil mage goes, my minion! How dare you! And he's going to look toward. Aewni, you have done an outrageous amount of damage to his minion so far. So he is going to look at you, and the evil mage will say, now, you will suffer the wrath of my cat with a knife. And he's going to have hold person upon you.
The moment the mage says that, Kokla just starts cackling.
Yeah, I need your old wisdom saving throw. Your DC is 13. This is a very
13?
scary. Yep. Oh, you succeed. You shrug.
That's not me.
Influence. Oh.
That's not me.
Boom.
Nope. It should be any Aewni. No!
Favored by the gods!
Whoops.
Alright, what did Favored by the Gods do? It allows you to add 2d4 to the roll. Oh wait, fail a saving throw. Oh my goodness. So you cannot fail with that 2d4 added on. And so, as you feel the corrupting power of the evil mage influence your mind, causing your body to freeze up, you kind of glow with divine light, and no, you can resist this unholy evil power. Or rather, just evil. It's not really unholy. And yeah, you are not paralyzed, which is very important. And Mage goes, what? And Adavahr, it is your turn.
I'm going to stab the cat with a knife.
Okay.
Or attempt.
Yeah,
Stab the stabber.
is like super stoked to go stab. And so you come up behind them with the halberd. Go ahead and make your attack.
Oh!
You exactly hit him. Just barely. Oh my god!
Yep!
And when it counts, your halberd like sinks into the cat with the knife's shoulder, and it goes and hisses at you angrily. Is there anything else that you'd like to do, Adavahr?
I'd like to get no, that's good. He's gonna go after me next. We're good. I'm gonna just hold there, wait for the attack.
Okay, so you're staying 10 feet from the cat with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cat with the knife goes after you, and it hisses and runs away from you. And the evil man goes, you idiot! Do something useful! And points toward, probably toward you, Aewni. Kill that one!
You said the cat ran away?
Mm-hmm.
So opportunity?
No, because you were 10 feet from him with your halberd.
Halberd is 10 feet, though.
Yeah.
10 feet reach.
Reach?
Oh, right! It moved out of your reach! Shit, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Cat with
Doesn't
knife,
matter, I can't hit anything, really. Alright, cool.
You know, at least it was the opportunity attack.
Yeah, true.
So, the cat with the knife runs on all fours, knife in hand, and then leaps into the air, comes down to stab you, like, cackling to itself.
We need Kokla again.
So, we lost Kokla. Yeah, it's all right. We'll get it working at some point.
Yeah, don't worry, we got this.
Aewni, because so far you have done terrifying damage, so that's why the evil mage is trying to focus. So, a dagger, a 19 to hit Aewni for 5 slashing.
Yeah, that hurts.
It will stab a second time. A 12 to hit.
That meets.
So another 4 slashing. And that is I'm sorry, it's got a third attack because it's the cat with the knife.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
no, a critical!
I think you've managed to kill me.
Oh my god, are you dead? Oh no!
Dead or downed?
Dead.
If it's
Really? What's
it's,
your
it's
maximum hit
double
point?
your health?
Because this is the first time you've been hit.
12. My current HP is 8.
All right, so that's
Yeah, no, I
one.
can kill you. It would have to.
No, that reaches -12.
Because you did 9 to me, and 7 plus 4 equals 11.
Yeah, so it would have to equal. Because no, when you get to roost below 0, you get reset to 0. So the second attack put you at 0, not at -1.
Okay, so I'm at -11.
Well, no, you're at 0. You don't go below that. And actually, if you got KO'd by the second attack, he would not have gone for you with that. Instead, he probably would have thrown that into the water at you, Kevin.
All right,
But
Okay.
dude.
he will have disadvantage on the
I'm
attack.
alive.
Well, you got KO'd by the second attack, right? By the 4?
Yes.
Okay, so you're unconscious, but yeah, he wouldn't strike to kill you. This cat is slightly smarter than that. That being said, I'll give him disadvantage on the attack against you, Kevin, so a 13.
Does not hit, thank God.
Cool. Okay, so Aewni is unconscious. Cat with the knife is laughing to itself. Kevin, it's your move.
Kevin is beating the ever-loving shit out of this man he's abducted.
Are you beating him up or dragging him into the deep?
He's doing both at the same time.
I guess you can do that, can't you? Okay, go ahead, make your attacks.
Right, okay, he's going to do this. And then he's going to use,
Bludgeon him.
he's going to use Punch Faster.
Oh, your favorite move, punch more.
Yeah, punch harder, better, faster, stronger to make 2 more.
Go ahead. Both of those are going to hit underwater. The lackey's usually pretty tough.
For a grand total of 16 damage.
16. Alrighty. He's also grievously injured at this point and bubbling.
Drowning.
Actually, he's not that injured. He's got a lot of hit points. He's not
Is he
quite
drowning?
He is in fact drowning though.
Yes.
Which is very bad for him.
Nothing else I can do because that was my bonus action. So Kevin's just gonna drag him further into the depth.
I think you drag him to the bottom of the lake at this point. He's 14 feet under right now.
Right, cool. Just step on him.
Well, it's his turn. He's gonna try and break out using his action.
Gotcha.
Roll me an athletics check.
Yes.
He's still unfortunately at disadvantage because he is oh boy.
Aha.
So he's drowning still. He's not looking in good shape. Kokla, it's your turn. You see your friend Aewni seems to be unconscious nearby.
Okay, quick reminder, what does Shatter do again?
It explodes, does a lot of damage.
Yeah, but, like radius
Oh, it's big.
or anything?
I got you. I'll look it up.
20-foot
Shatter.
radius.
60 feet, 10-foot radius. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point.
Yep.
A creature takes 38. Yeah.
Alright, so Kokla's not gonna do that with Aewni in range.
Well, if you wanted, right?
Well, you could just chuck it to the side behind him.
Yeah, well, and you could do that if you wanted. You could probably hit the evil
All right.
and the cat with the knife if you wanted to.
Yes.
All
Kokla
right.
is angry.
So Kokla once again, dun, 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 like strikes the violin.
Okay, and Shatter?
Yes.
Yes, submit. Ta-da! 13 damage.
Oh boy. All right, so the 13 damage to. Okay, they got to roll con save. Cat with the knife succeeds, so half damage, and the evil mage fails. Oh no, barely succeeds. Crap, because DC's 12. Is it DC 12? What's their?
I don't know.
All right, let me just quickly check it for you.
If it's a bard's, do you have a +2 to charisma?
Yeah.
I have a high charisma.
Yep. No, this is correct. Because you're not level 4 yet, so you haven't evened the score out. Yep. So they're
Right.
gonna take half damage each. The evil mage goes ugh, and is pretty hurt. Cat with the knife is also pretty injured. Alrighty. So Aewni, it would be your turn at this point, but all of you hear a horrible like, "Oh my goodness, they're trying to murder my adventurers!" As Gnorbert Gnolan stumbles in on the other side of the clearing, and he issues a healing word in your direction, Aewni. You regain 2 hit points,
Oh, perfect.
and now it's your turn.
Can I leave? Can I like?
Well, you're currently lying on the ground by the lake.
Can I get away from this cat?
You can just flee if you want. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't want to flee. I just want to get away from the cat.
The cat's right next to you. You can roll me like a deception check to try and like sneak away without him seeing, but it'll be tough. Or you could disengage and run. Or if you have like a spell or something that would push him away, that would also do. But right now he's right next to you.
How beat is this cat?
Cat's pretty beat up. I mean, cat's bloody. If that matters to you. He's at fewer than half his maximum hit points.
I don't know what I want to do. You know what? I'm gonna cure wounds myself.
Hey, not a bad move. All right, so you put a hand on your chest and heal. You're a very good heal as well.
I max out.
Hot damn. Is that the end of your move, Aewni?
That's all I got. Unless I want
Alrighty.
to move and get stabbed.
Yeah, Evil Mage is going to go, and he's going to cast Magic Missile, targeting you, Kokla. So you're going to, of course it's not going to roll it, is it? All right, you're going to take, 2, 4, 9 points of force damage as 3 magical missiles strike you.
Ow.
Right, she's down to 18.
That kind of hurts.
And that is the end of the evil mage's move. Adavahr.
I'm going to help the person that is being confronted by the cat person with the knife.
Yes, you see your friend Aewni upon the ground, like healing themselves up as cat with a knife just.
As that happens, I'd like to run over, drop my glaive next to the water, and draw my great axe.
Awesome. So it's like as you're running, the halberd hits the sandy shore here of the pond, and great axe comes out.
And hopefully this works.
Good luck.
It's a 14 to hit.
14 will hit him. As
Okay.
you come down with the great axe.
Aww.
Oh, not
Bad
the
damage, though.
not the highest damage roll here. As you strike the cat with the knife.
Hold on, apologies. I don't think that's set up right. Let me just...
do you have the ability to
Yeah, I didn't set up the great sword.
Well, just
So
go
I'll
ahead
just
and hit
roll
the
the
great axe one more time.
Oh yeah, good point. Not a little better.
Much better.
It's
In which
fixing
manner
it.
do you decapitate the cat with the knife?
As he's laughing at my...
You don't decapitate him. What do you
No,
do?
I do.
Okay.
As he's laughing at my fallen friend, the great axe just swings right through the neck.
And as the cat head just land in the sand next to you, Aewni, it's almost like looking right at you, and then the dagger just in the ground right in front of it. And
Can I take a free action to kick it?
Sure. You scramble and kick it.
There you go.
And it just splashes into the water. Kevin, you see something splash into the water, and the evil mage was like, nah. He goes,
I just go, whoops.
Cat with the knife is dead. So Kevin, it's your turn. The bandit lackey, his movements are slowing. Like, he's having a tough time. You think he's close.
All right, well,
Hit points, but because of just drowning.
it's time to put this man in the grave. And by that, I want to break his arms and legs. Leave him there.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack roll. No, roll me an athletics check is what I want.
Okay, athletics check.
And okay, so what happens here is is as he's like struggling, he's like, and you feel it starting to like slow down. And I imagine, Kevin, you almost like you have him like under you in the water at some point. You're almost like standing on him at the bottom of the river.
Yep.
And you pick up just a large rock. Drop, and it just onto his chest, and he stops moving.
Yep, I leave him there. And is there anyone else still alive? Is the cat still there? Dead yet.
Well, as you like surface, there's a cat head just floating in the water next to you. A cat person.
A cat person or just the head?
Just the head.
Okay, nice.
I'm sorry, on the base of the.
He'll look around for anyone he doesn't recognize.
I think.
It's just the evil mage who is still by the clearing, by like the entrance to the clearing on the land, and it looks like they're about to book.
Right, well, he's gonna book after them with his unarmored movement.
Okay, well, because you gotta do all that swimming, I think you like get out of the water, and that's probably the end of your move.
Yep. I can move 40 feet.
So you get like half of the way toward him on the land as well.
Yeah, he points towards it. Surprise! Come here.
Kokla, it's your move.
All right. Let's just shoot a crossbow bolt at them. Let's just shoot him.
Okay, hand crossbow.
You take your crossbow, you fire, you're gonna hit him. The mage holds up a hand and conjures forth a shield of magical force, which shatters under the force of your crossbow, not able to block it. And yeah, he suffers 7 piercing damage. He is on the verge of death. You think you came real close there.
I had aimed for his leg, so...
Oh. Okay, so the bolt is like sticking out of his knee, and it's just and he's in grievous agonizing pain. Aewni?
Chromatic orb.
Oh god. Okay, so you're not gonna let him run. You're just gonna murder him. Yeah, and with that 12, you'll hit him.
That hits.
Yeah, exactly hit his AC.
Let's give him a little zap. I'm gonna fire lightning at him.
Sure.
Wait, if you hold off from the orb, we can fire lightning at him while he's in the water.
Well, as you say that, suddenly there's a like comical grrr, and you see like the bones through the body.
Ah, yeah, no, he's dead.
And he just collapses in just a heap of smoldering robes. And actually, he leaves no body. He just completely burns away, or maybe disappears in some way, as he is the dead sauce. And
Kevin catches up to him and is immediately sad that he never got to say his one-liner.
Kokla encourages Kevin to say it anyways.
His one-liner is time for some applied biomancy.
And Kevin, as you say that, just kind of kicking at the pile of dust and robes, Nolan looks at you all and says, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe they all attacked you. That was horrible. I knew they were poachers, but I didn't expect them to be murderers."
Well, they're bastards, you know. Nothing you can do.
You were pretty brutal. And behind you, you see the owlbears are all still asleep in their cave. And, well,
because we're protecting the owlbears. We didn't want them to get near the cave.
Well, at least everything's good now. Here's all of your Bartholomew bucks, and he takes out a big bag full of it jingles like it's full of coins, but he opens it up, it's not, it's full of paper money. And he gives you each 100 Bartholomew bucks.
Can I have an owlbear feather?
Paper money?
Sure, you can have an owlbear feather.
Yay!
That's what Bartholomew wants, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. That's weird.
See, I told you we were just going to violently knock them out.
Kind of like as a head floats by.
And a little closer.
Sorry, by the way, he shot at us. Or that one stabbed.
It's like, well, the owlbears are safe. That's what matters.
Oh, right. I would recommend that you do not let the owlbears drink from their lake anymore. Because in a few days, there's going to be a rotting body at the bottom of it.
I've never heard any owlbears. But anyway, you've all completed the adventure. You've gained your point of experience in your bucks. And congratulations, guys. Good work. It devolved into murdering them much quicker than I expected, but that's okay.
I killed a man. I made him drown.
Yay! The innocent owlbears are okay.
Would any of you like to shop really quick?
Nah, I'm good.
No, I mean, you can't enchant your fists, so I'm good.
All right. We can talk about that another time, by the way, Grainer, because I think there's stuff we can do for you.
That's sweet.
Aewni, Adavahr, would either of you two like to shop, or maybe not this time?
I am learning to answer that question next time.
Yeah, you can always save up. You're not going to lose the bucks at any time.
I figured it was a safe bet.
Yeah. All right, then. In that case, we'll be right back. Stay tuned for game 2 in just a moment here. We'll be right back.